Dancing into your 80s, the secret to staying young that doctors ignore. It starts quietly. One day you realize your body doesn't move the way it once did. Not slower exactly, but heavier, as if life itself has thickened around you. You hear the familiar tune of a song you loved decades ago, and for a moment, you remember how it used to feel. Light, effortless, free. And then the moment passes. You tell yourself it's normal. After all, isn't that what everyone says about getting older? But what if the secret to feeling young again was not locked away in a bottle, not hidden in a gym, not measured by miles on a treadmill, but in the simple act of moving with joy? Not exercise, not regimen, not duty, just movement, just music, just dance. We don't often hear doctors talk about dancing when they discuss healthy aging. They'll tell you about heart rates and muscle mass, about calcium supplements and balanced diets. Important things to be sure. But they miss something crucial, something invisible. They miss the spirit. Because dance isn't just movement. It's memory, it's connection, it's life refusing to grow small. When you dance, you don't just stretch muscles and you stretch the soul. You reach back into the deepest parts of yourself. The parts untouched by time. The parts that still remember how to be vibrant, curious, and alive. The beauty of dance is that it doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't care how fast you move or whether you follow the steps. It only asks that you show up, that you give yourself permission to feel the music again, to let the rhythm guide you back to the version of yourself that laughs easily, breathes deeply, and moves without fear. You don't need a stage. You don't need an audience. All you need is a little bit of space, a little bit of music, and the willingness to remember that inside you, even now, is someone who can still move with the grace of life itself. Growing older doesn't have to mean growing still. It doesn't have to mean surrendering to gravity or routine. There's a different way, a more joyful way, a way back to yourself, and it begins with a single step. Movement is the language of life. Before we had words, before we even knew how to think in sentences, we moved. A heartbeat, a stretch, a sway. From the very beginning, life expresses itself through motion. And even as we age, that truth doesn't change, though sometimes we forget. We're taught that aging is a slow retreat, that with each passing year our bodies shrink back from the world. Less movement, less risk, less life. But the body doesn't age because we move. It ages because we stop moving. It ages because we listen to the lie that says stillness is safety. Here's the reality. Your body was made to move, not with force, not with punishment, but with joy. And dance is one of the purest, most human ways to do it. Unlike exercise, routines built around reps and results, dance asks for something gentler, a return to rhythm. Rhythm is life's native language. The pulse of your heart, the cycle of breath, the tides that pull at the shores. When you dance, you're not just moving muscles. You're tapping back into something primal and essential, something that whispers, you are still alive and you are still capable of joy. Modern wellness culture talks a lot about discipline and regimens. Track your steps, monitor your heart rate, count your calories. It's all good advice, but it's missing the soul of it all. It's missing the part where you smile in the middle of movement, where you laugh at yourself, not because you're perfect, but because you're free. Doctors will tell you to walk for your health, and they're right. Walking strengthens bones, protects your heart, and keeps your joints moving. But they don't always tell you what dancing does for your spirit. They don't always remind you that movement born from music does something extraordinary. It brings back the parts of you untouched by age or worry. Because when the music plays and your body moves, even if it's just a shuffle, even if it's just a sway, something changes. The years slip away, if only for a moment. You're no longer someone counting the passage of time. You're someone dancing through it. The rhythm of life doesn't fade with age. It simply waits, quietly, patiently, for you to hear it again. It's in the tapping of your foot to an old tune. It's in the sway of your hips as you hum along to a favorite song. It's in the small, stubborn joys that refuse to be forgotten. And when you find that rhythm again, when you allow it back into your life, you'll realize something stunning. Staying young isn't about resisting time. It's about moving with it. It's about keeping step with the life still humming inside you, waiting for the music to start. Aging changes the body. That much is true. Muscles lose mass. Joints grow stiffer. Balance becomes more precarious. And with those changes often comes a quiet withdrawal, a belief that the best thing we can do is slow down, sit more, risk less. But here's where dance defies expectation. Because while aging may pull at the body, dance gives it something back. Dance strengthens not just the muscles you expect, the calves, the thighs, the core, but the subtle, often forgotten, ones that protect balance and stability. Unlike repetitive mechanical exercises, dance asks you to shift, to sway, to adjust your weight from one foot to another, teaching your body, almost without you noticing, how to stay centered, how to recover gracefully when the unexpected happens. And the beauty is you don't need to leap or spin. Even small movements, a gentle shuffle, a slow turn, a rhythmic sway, are powerful. They activate muscles deeply and naturally, keeping joints supple and bones stronger. Over time, these movements build resilience where it matters most, not in the flashy ways, but in the quiet strength it takes to stand tall, to walk steadily, to trust your own footing. But dance doesn't just heal the body, it heals the mind. Inside the brain, something extraordinary happens when you dance. Neural pathways, the invisible highways of memory, coordination, and focus, light up. Music and movement together engage the brain more fully than almost any other activity. It's not just good for the body, it's a workout for the mind. Studies have shown that dance can help sharpen memory, boost cognitive flexibility, and even reduce the risk of dementia. But beyond the research, there's a deeper truth you feel the moment you start moving. Dance reconnects you to yourself. It reminds you that you are not just a body to be managed or a mind to be preserved. You are a whole, living, breathing human being. And perhaps most importantly, dance reignites happiness. Not the fleeting happiness of a treat or a purchase, but the deep, grounded joy that bubbles up when you feel truly alive. Movement to music triggers the release of endorphins, those natural chemicals that make you feel good, lift your mood, and quiet anxiety. Think of the seniors who dance into their 80s and 90s, not because they are trying to be young, but because they are celebrating the life that remains. They are the ones who walk with a lightness, who laugh easily, who face each day with a kind of quiet courage. Their secret isn't hidden in a supplement bottle or a fitness tracker. It's found in the simple, profound act of dancing. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be graceful. You only have to move, to let your body remember what it has always known, that healing isn't just about resting. Sometimes healing is about moving, feeling, and trusting that you are stronger and more capable than you've been led to believe. Movement is medicine, dance is freedom, and neither is reserved for the young. When people talk about dance, they often focus on the obvious benefits: stronger muscles, better balance, sharper memory. But there's another layer to dancing, one that matters just as much, if not more, as we age. Dance touches something deeper than the physical. It speaks to the heart, to the spirit, to the quiet places where loneliness sometimes settles and joy sometimes forgets to visit. Because no matter how strong your body is, life can feel heavy when your soul feels isolated. And this is where dance becomes something bigger than exercise. It becomes a lifeline. Movement to music connects us in ways words often can't. A simple sway, a shared rhythm, a clasped hand in a waltz. These are small, profound reminders that we are not alone. They remind us that even as the world changes and as the familiar falls away, we still belong to something, to the pulse of life, to the beat of the human story. Dancing has a way of pulling us out of ourselves, out of the small anxieties that creep in during quiet evenings, out of the heavy solitude that can settle into the corners of our days. Whether it's a simple two-step at home, a spontaneous spin in the kitchen, or a slow shuffle at a local dance hall, moving with music awakens a kind of shared humanity. It doesn't matter if you're dancing with a partner in a group or by yourself. Dance breaks the walls of isolation. It reminds you that you're connected, not only to those around you, but to the wider river of life itself. More powerful still is what dance does to the spirit. It rekindles confidence. It coaxes joy from places you thought you'd lost. It tells your mind and body the story they need to hear, that you're still vibrant, still capable of beauty, still worthy of delight. Dance invites playfulness back into your life. Not the forced, performative kind of play, but the real, honest kind. The kind where you smile without meaning to. The kind where you laugh at a misstep, shrug it off, and keep going. That's the kind of play that heals. That's the kind of joy that can't be bottled or prescribed. In a world that can feel increasingly rigid and scheduled, dance is a rebellion. A reminder that freedom is not about age or circumstance. It's about spirit. And no matter what number marks your birthday, your spirit remembers how to be free. You don't have to be graceful. You don't have to be good. You only have to be willing. Willing to move. Willing to smile. Willing to feel. That's the true power of dance. That's the part doctors often overlook, but your heart has always known. Many people hear dance and immediately picture grand ballrooms or elaborate routines. Beautiful, yes, but intimidating. They think of talent, of technique, of needing to be good enough. But dance, at its heart, doesn't require talent. It doesn't demand perfection. It asks only for presence. Finding your dance isn't about performing. It's about discovering or rediscovering the movements that feel right for you, the ones that make your spirit feel lighter. It doesn't matter if it's a slow shuffle across the living room, a small sway in the kitchen while your tea steeps, or a quiet rocking back and forth to an old favorite tune. This is your dance, yours alone. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It only has to feel like home. Start small. Put on a song that stirs something in you, not just in your ears, but in your chest, your hands, your toes. Let yourself move, even if it's just tapping a foot at first, even if it's just a nod of the head or rolling of the shoulders. Dance doesn't start with big steps. It starts with a shift, a breath, a willingness. Create your own space. It doesn't have to be a studio or a dance floor. It can be the soft carpet of your living room, the open space of a kitchen, a patch of grass in your backyard. Wherever you are, you can make room for dance. For some, it will be joining a community, a local dance class, a seniors group, or a casual gathering where no one cares about missteps. For others, it will be solitary, a private celebration of movement where the only audience is the self. There's power in both. There's beauty in both. And as you move, something incredible happens. The body begins to change. Yes, growing stronger, more flexible, more resilient. But so does your view of yourself. Confidence doesn't just sneak in quietly. It takes center stage. Creativity, that spark you thought had dimmed with time, flares back to life. Energy returns, not in frantic bursts, but in a steady, sustaining flow. Little by little, dance spills out into other areas of your life. You find yourself moving more easily through your days, feeling less stiff, less stuck. You greet mornings with a little more lightness. You approach challenges with a little more grace. And perhaps most importantly, you remember what it feels like to belong to yourself again. Not as someone fighting against age, but as someone dancing with it. As someone refusing to grow smaller with time and instead growing freer. Finding your dance isn't about chasing youth, it's about embracing life, all of it, right here, right now, exactly as you are. A small step, a simple sway, a silent song in your head. That's where it begins. That's where it all begins. Growing older is often painted as a slow retreat, a gradual shrinking of movement, of dreams, of life itself. But that's only one story. There's another, a quieter, more rebellious one. A story where age doesn't mean less life, but a deeper kind of living, a richer rhythm, a wiser beat. Dance reminds us of that story, because when you dance, you say something powerful. Not to the world, but to yourself. You say, I am still here. I am still moving. I am still becoming. Each step, each sway, each moment of motion is a declaration that youth is not just a season you leave behind, but a feeling you can carry with you, if you're willing to reach for it. You don't need perfect steps. You don't need an audience or a polished floor or even a plan. All you need is music, the kind that stirs something inside you, and the courage to move to it. Even if it's small, even if it's slow, even if it's unseen by anyone else. Dance doesn't care about your age. It doesn't care about your aches, your history, your doubts. It cares that you show up, that you listen to the music only you can hear and let it pull you forward, into laughter, into connection, into joy. Maybe you've been waiting for permission. Maybe you've been waiting for the right time. Here it is. Here's your permission. Here's your moment. You are not too old to dance. You are not too late to begin. There is no expiration date on joy, on movement, on the simple, exquisite act of living fully in your body. Somewhere, the music is already playing. Quiet at first, maybe, but steady, waiting for you to take that first small step, and then another, and then another. Life isn't done with you yet, and you are not done with life. So move, sway, step, dance, into your 70s, your 80s, your 90s. Dance into every morning, into every moment, into every possibility. The rhythm has been inside you all along. All that's left is to follow it.